with you where I started with your counterpart. What do you want to see out of President Trump tonight?
I think what we're going to see tonight is him laying out his vision for the next 4 years for America. This is really, truly a debate where we have a clear contrast between the two candidates. We know what we got under President Trump's tenure. We know what we've had under President Biden's tenure. And I think it really is just going to come down to making sure that we're going to have a conversation about the next 4 years, which are really going to set the path for America for the next decade.
You know, we've heard, Michael, from the president, from folks around him, Republican supporters, that the president is senile, the current president, that he is controlled, that he's not with it. But when President Trump did an interview on a podcast in the recent days, this is what he said, and I want to get your reaction on the other side.
I'll probably be negotiating with 3 people, but that's okay. I've done that before. I'll be debating 3 people instead of one half of a person.
That's not the correct soundbite, obviously. He was on the All In podcast, Michael, and he said he beat Paul Ryan pretty badly, and I assume he's going to be somebody that will be a worthy debater. The point is, Michael, he is now raising expectations as it relates to President Biden. So what is it? How can you make the case that the guy's not with it, yet you're trying to raise expectations in the hours leading up to the debate?
Look, the discussion that we're having here is not whether he can stand up and talk for 90 minutes straight. It is he has a record that he needs to defend. And during his tenure as the president, he has unleashed inflation on this country, and he has unleashed an immigration invasion that we've seen at the southern border with 10 million illegal immigrants coming across the stage. So it is not as important how he says what he's going to say. What's important is what is he going to say, and how is he going to defend his record of failure. And President Trump needs to focus on his record of success and what he's going to do over the next 4 years to get America out of the ditch that Joe Biden has driven it into.
The president's been former president's been beating up the moderators a bit in advance of this, and I wonder if the Biden campaign sort of, you could say, performed the art of the deal by getting Donald Trump to do this with these stipulations, with these conditions.
Yeah, 2 thoughts on that. First off, the president was very clear that he would debate Joe Biden anywhere, anytime, on any platform. And this is just another promise made, promise kept. And he wants to have this debate. It is so important to show the American people the contrast between these 2 visions, between these 2 platforms and these 2 presidents. The second thing that I will say is CNN has an opportunity here to do right by the American people and play this debate fair. I sincerely hope that Dana and Jake are going to take that opportunity and they're going to play this straight, because otherwise they're going to be doing a tremendous disservice, not just to their viewers, but to the entire country.
The vice presidential selection, Michael, Donald Trump said over the weekend he knows who it is. Do you know who it is?
No, and I think that anybody who tells you that they know who it is or when that announcement is going to come other than President Trump is telling you a story. I feel very confident that we're going to hear about that decision sometime between tomorrow and July 15th when we head to the convention, but that's all we're really going to speculate on.
You know, I asked Jamie Harrison about President Biden's future, so let me ask you this and leave you with this. Donald Trump, July 11th sentencing. Nobody knows what will happen, but incarceration is clearly an option. If Judge Marchand goes down that road, Michael, does the RNC have a plan?
We fully expect that the president is going to be in Milwaukee to accept his nomination on the 18th, and we are going to continue to operate based on that premise. If something were to ever come up, of course, we would have to deal with it, but I'm telling you now, we fully expect him to be in Milwaukee and accept it.
Thank you for watching, and make sure you go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.